KTSM 9 News Now starts right now.
Hey, knock it off.
Emotions flared as a mother of a 6-year-old boy was acquitted for the death of her son. Other family members, including the boy's father, which you just heard, shouted their outrage as they were coming out of the courtroom. We'll have more on this story. But first, a little over 3 years after the incident, New Mexico State Police released their incident review on the fatal shooting that took the life of Darian Giroux in February of 2021. Thank you for choosing 9 News Now. I'm Estela Casas. KTSM 9 News reporter Skylar Soto joins us live in the newsroom with a breakdown of these findings. Hi, Skylar.
Hi there, Estela. The report sheds light on exactly what happened on the February day in 2021. Officer Darian Jarrett was fatally shot after pulling over a suspect who was believed to be on his way to a drug deal. Jarrett was shot 11 times with an AR-style rifle, and the suspect then sped away on I-10 East, resulting in a high-speed chase that ended in a Las Cruces shootout with law enforcement. Now, according to the report, there were 6 overall critical issues, ranging from the tactical plans of Homeland Security investigations, or HSI agents, and the improper tactical decision-making on how to conduct the traffic stop. HSI only communicating with the New Mexico State Police rather than going through the proper channels. New Mexico State Chief of Police says these findings were created to take a critical look at the incident and to figure out all the factors that possibly played into the shooting. He says the main concern of where things went wrong is communication.
We knew early on that that was one of the main issues in the incident. And, this report allowed us to dig a little deeper into that. It's very important that everybody's on the same page. We had critical information that did not get to all the individuals that were involved. And that obviously was one of the main factors, along with just making unnecessary changes to the operation at the last minute.
Now, another issue in the incident review says based on the information provided in the operation plan, an interdiction traffic stop was the wrong tactic for this operation. And tonight at 10, I'll have a deeper look into these findings and how the current Chief of New Mexico State Police says the release of these findings will help better shape the department moving forward. In the newsroom, I'm Skylar Soto. Back to you.
Okay, now back to that emotional story we brought you at the top of this newscast. Danica Johnson, the mother of a 6-year-old boy, Avery Jackson Dunphy, who was mauled by dogs in 2021, was found not guilty of child abuse resulting in death. Back on November 22nd in 2021, Avery was attacked by dogs after going into a yard where 6 dogs were housed. 3 of the dogs had previously showed signs of aggressive behavior in this dog foster home. According to the medical examination report, the boy suffered severe wounds to his neck and chest area. All dogs were euthanized within hours after the attack.
She told me that she let him in with the dogs and left, and no one heard anything. And then when they came out, he was completely unresponsive, dead, and here we are today.
And that is the father. The grandmother and grandfather, Leslie and Kevin Owens, were also indicted in Avery's death. Leslie was acquitted in December. Kevin's trial will be next month. The family of 4 killed in a house fire in San Antonio is believed to be from El Paso. San Antonio police say the fire happening Friday morning. Police say the victims are 44-year-old Alfredo Pescador, 40-year-old Blanca Pescador, 19-year-old Leslie Pescador, and a 13-year-old juvenile. Authorities say the fire started inside the home in San Antonio, and investigators there say the case is being investigated as a homicide. According to the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office, Pescador died from a gunshot wound and not the fire. Blanca's death is also being investigated as a homicide. Investigators and neighbors are telling authorities that the mother, Blanca Pescador, was going to bring her children to El Paso for a family emergency, but ended up not coming here. Neighbors say they don't know why. Now, family of Blanca, Leslie, and Freddie Pescador sent a statement to KTSM saying, in part, quote, "Our whole world was turned upside down. My sister Blanca was a happy and beautiful person, and my niece, Leslie, and nephew, Freddie, awesome human beings and outstanding students." The family has set up a GoFundMe to bring their bodies back to El Paso and for the funeral services and expenses. We have that link on our website, ktsm.com. Well, let's get a first check of the forecast. Chief Meteorologist Robert Bettis joins us now live from the Franklin Mountains. Hi, Robert.
Hi there, Estella. Well, you know what? It was very gusty earlier today, and right on the eastern slopes, of course, it's the worst when the west winds really pick up. We were gusting to close to 45 miles per hour with a dusty haze. But now, here in front of the El Paso Museum of Archaeology in the Cactus Garden, it is just about perfect. The winds are light. Joining me now is my favorite biologist at Texas Parks and Wildlife, Lois Ballin. Lois, look at this beauty. Oh, look at that. I want to give it a sniff. No. Oh, what? Ow! Lois, you didn't warn me. What is this thing?
Okay, this is a species of cholla.
Ow.
It's called tree cholla, and the cholla species are the ones that are most dangerous for getting cactus needles on you.
Yeah.
All cactus have thorns of some sort,
Yeah.
but the chollas are the worst. Some of them even jump off at you.
Is that why you told me don't sit too close to it?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Lois. This is wonderful. Okay, let's give you a brief look at the forecast. We're going to be cooler tomorrow, 74 degrees the high temperature. We're going to have partly cloudy skies. The winds will be lighter.
Yay.
That's going to be so nice.
Yay.
As we cruise into our St. Patty's Day weekend, when you're already wearing green, I love it, temperatures will be in the upper 60s and maybe a chance of showers late Saturday into Sunday morning. I'm going to have your detailed forecast, and of course, the Small Town Spotlight will be starting soon, right there at the museum, coming up in just a bit. Estella.
Okay, Robert. Let's take a look at traffic right now through our TxDOT traffic cameras. It is 6 minutes after 5 o'clock. It's looking pretty good. I-10 and Alcala also looking good. No problems to report. No flashing lights. No accidents at this hour. I-10 and Van Horn also looking good. El Paso County Sheriff's Office says it has arrested a 23-year-old man after he committed several crimes last Friday, including stealing from a local church. The Sheriff's Office says this happened on the 1500 block of San Elizario Road. Deputies say 23-year-old Giovanni Moreno broke into a vehicle and tried to ignite the gas tank, broke into and stole from a section of the San Elizario Church, then broke into an art gallery museum and destroyed multiple displays there. Detectives were able to identify Moreno from previous interactions and obtained 2 warrants for burglary of business with a total bond of $10,000. Moreno was arrested yesterday and booked into the El Paso County Jail. New at 5, river water is now flowing again in the Rio Grande, flowing freely after being released from Caballo Dam just south of Elephant Butte. KTSM 9 News reporter Jesus Baltazar spoke with the El Paso Fire Department, who is issuing a safety advisory for the community.
Officials with El Paso Fire say that there were over 140 water rescues last year and that 20 people died. Despite the yearly warnings, lives continue to be lost in the Borderlands waterways. The 5 safety guidelines for El Pasoans are simple. Avoid any activity near canals, respect all warning signs and barriers near the canals, contact 911 if you see someone in distress rather than attempting to rescue yourself, report any hazards near the canals, and finally, help raise awareness to the community about the dangers of the canals. Dueñas highlighted the importance of following these guidelines.
And unfortunately, we have usually anywhere from 15 to 20 people dying every year here in the water. And that's what we're asking the community to stay away, because even though the water rescue team responds right away, a lot of the times, by the time somebody reported somebody, it's already just a body. The person is not there anymore, the person has passed away.
Dueñas' message to the community: don't ever underestimate the water. Its depth and strength are always deceiving. We also spoke with El Paso Water, who say they're expecting nearly 20 billion gallons of water this year, which is nearly half of their annual water supply. Tune in later tonight at 10 as we explain the significance of the river water supply for the borderland this year. Reporting from West El Paso, Jesus Baltazar, KTSM 9 News.
Our preview of today's Small Town Spotlight at the Franklin Mountains continues. Coming up, we'll tell you about the mural that was painted on the side of the El Paso Museum of Archaeology and what each picture on the mural represents. Then a Montwood student has been recently given a national award. We'll explain on today's Estelas Estrellas. Thanks for watching KTSM 9 News, now putting local first.
You're watching KTSM 9 News Now with Estela Casas and Chief Meteorologist Robert Bettis. If you have a news story, call our hotline now, 915-533-KTSM. Reach us via social media or email us at news@ktsm.com.
Find amazing deals store-wide during the wall-to-wall sale at Furniture Row. Every sofa, dining table, and bed is on sale. Plus 5 years, no interest. Shop today and save during the wall-to-wall sale, only at Furniture Row.
It only takes a second for an everyday item to become dangerous. Tide Pods Child Guard Pack helps keep your laundry packs in a safe place and your child safer. To close, twist until it clicks. Tide Pods Child Guard Packaging.
Healthy 32 Dental provides complete family dental care to El Paso families. Our experienced dentists provide comprehensive dental care with the latest technology and techniques. We provide dentures, implants, and can fit you with veneers and crowns in one day. Book your appointment online today or call us.
At Sunland Park, it's
time to play Grand Slam Baseball, your chance to win lots of cash.
Teams win a share of $225,000 5 times every Saturday through April 27th. Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino.
Here's to the unseen late nights, learning curves, and your perseverance. The behind the scenes is where the magic happens. It's where you shape your process and where you don't let anything hold you back. GECU is there to support you through it all with the products and services that you trust, so you can focus on making your own path. Become a member online now at GECU.com.
Say no to middleman mattress markup malaise. And yes to factory direct savings at Denver Mattress. And during the March mattress sale, get the Summit for only $332.49, plus 5 years no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Your local weather authority, Robert Bettis, the Borderlands' only certified broadcast meteorologist.
Well, happy Wednesday, everyone. It is time for our small town spotlight. Oh, it's going to be fun. We're out here in the northeast side of town, right near the Franklin Mountains State Park. And it's so beautiful. The winds have finally started to back off. It was a little bit dusty today. Peak gusts close to 45 miles per hour, just as we'd predicted, and high temperature very close to 80 degrees. I'll have that official high coming up in just a little bit for you. Let's do your exclusive 9-day forecast. Now, things are going to change over the next few days. First of all, tomorrow, high temperature 74 degrees in the best part of tomorrow. We'll see partly cloudy skies, and the winds will be lighter. As we move in toward the weekend ahead, high temperatures move down into the upper 60s. On Friday, partly to mostly cloudy, light winds. On Saturday, I'm putting in mostly cloudy skies with a chance of showers, especially late in the evening. I want to extend that chance of showers into Sunday. I'm going to be honest, it was an extremely difficult forecast with a low pressure system that's going to move in and sit over Arizona and spin for days, tormenting me to make the forecast. It'll finally begin its approach, I believe, by Wednesday. So spring officially begins on Tuesday. High temperatures go back up into the 70s. We might see some passing showers as the system goes through, and then we'll be good to go with sunshine and some moderately gusty winds by the end of the week. Of course, right adjacent to the El Paso Museum of Archaeology is Franklin Mountain State Park, and joining me is Texas Park Ranger Lydia Pagel. Nice to see you, Lydia.
Likewise.
Okay, we've got all kinds of wildlife that live out here, yes?
Yes, we do.
All right, and what is it that I'm looking at right here?
So here we've got a display of all the different variety, well, not all of them. There's hundreds of possible birds you might see here in Franklin Mountain State Parks.
Yes.
But this is just showing the amount of different types of birds and how their eggs look different. We've got thousands of different types of animals in the park. So this is an example of the diversity of birds. We also have tons of different insects, So we've got this bumblebee. The Chihuahuan Desert has a greater diversity of native bees than just about anywhere in the world.
I love it.
We also have our Ranger Cottontail is with us today, so she's helping us out.
Right.
But we do have actual bunnies out here as well.
Yes.
And they're predators as well. We've got a couple examples here of gray fox prints and bobcat prints.
Now, you as a park ranger, you're probably always listening for unusual sounds of things that live up in the mountains.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one I haven't heard before.
Wait a minute.
I'm not sure what that one would be.
Here, can you hold this
Yeah,
for me
I
just a
can.
second? There seems to be a pattern to it, Lydia.
Not sure what that bird is.
Yeah.
Let's go.
These small town spotlights would not happen without the Charlie Clark Automotive Group and my friend Bobby Boone.
How you doing?
So good to see you.
So
you ready to sniff some poppies, my
Oh, I'm
friend?
ready. I'm always ready. Let's go.
Thank you so much, Lydia, for all this wonderful information. You stay with KTSM 9 News. More small town spotlight coming up in just a bit.
Call my office today at 915-544-5200.
Join local attorneys Flores Mendez Law every Wednesday for the legal expert advice that you need. Catch KTSM 9 News Legal Matters with Flores Mendez Law Wednesdays at 6:30 on KTSM 9 News.
I'm Andy Morgan. You're watching KTSM 9 News, putting local first.
I'm Estela Casas. We make it a priority to bring you the latest news and developments from around the region, putting local first.
Hi, you've reached Health Enrollment Center. How can I help you?
I heard there's a way to get a no-cost health plan with a $500 cash allowance program to pay for groceries and stuff.
That's right. Just need to ask a few questions. Do you make under $50,000?
I do.
Are you under 65 years old?
I'm 33.
Okay, and are you on Medicare or Medicaid?
I'm not.
Great, that's all it takes. I'll check your zip code now and see if you're eligible for a zero-cost health plan plus the cash allowance program of a $500 benefit card.
Call now for free to see if your income level and zip code qualifies you for a zero-cost health plan that covers all costs for things like doctor's visits, prescription medications, and even dental. Plus, a cash card where you get up to $500 to use for groceries, gas, rent, utilities, and more. That's right. Based on your income and zip code, you can now receive a benefit card with $500 for you to spend on essential needs. Call 800-895-0868 to see if you qualify. The call is free and it only takes 3 minutes to see if you qualify. Call 800-895-0868. That's 800-895-0868. 800-895-0868.
At El Paso ISD, we know that kids this age learn through play. And every game, every activity, and every discovery builds the foundation for a brighter future. All our classrooms are nurturing spaces where no conversation is too small.
My cat feels fluffy, and then my dog feels soft.
It starts with El Paso ISD Early Childhood Education.
Healthy 32 Dental provides complete family dental care to El Paso families. Our experienced dentists provide comprehensive dental care with the latest technology and techniques. We provide dentures, implants, and can fit you with veneers and crowns in one day. Book your appointment online today or call us.
El Paso Electric and the Heart Gallery of El Paso are partnering to host a portrait exhibit showcasing photos of some of the children in the borderland hoping to be adopted. EPE transformed its downtown lobby area to showcase the portraits of the kids. The Heart Gallery is hoping that the visual images will help the community connect with a child who needs a forever home. The executive director of the nonprofit says while becoming a guardian can be intimidating, it's also very rewarding.
Just to be able to be a mentor and be able to support a child to be able to follow their dreams, that can be enough. We're all, imperfect at the end of the day, but as long as we're willing to provide love and support to help these kids achieve the dreams that they want, then I think you're a perfect candidate for adoption.
Contreras says there are 35 children in the El Paso region who are currently in foster care, waiting to find a loving home, a nurturing home as well. To find out how you can begin the process of adoption, head to our website, ktsm.com. In health news, March is National Endometriosis Month, a disease that causes severe pain for women in the pelvic area. A local specialist shares symptoms to look out for.
Painful urination, the implant in the rectum, painful bowel movements, sometimes constipation, and is a major cause of chronic pelvic pain.
Dr. Saliva said women should see their gynecologist if pain persists for more than 2 weeks and go in for checkups every year. The World Health Organization says the inflammatory disease affects 10% of women worldwide. We continue our Small Town Spotlight series. As we've been telling you today, we are shining a light on the sights and sounds of the Franklin Mountains. At the El Paso Museum of Archaeology, you'll be greeted with a colorful mural. Museum Director Sebastián Ribas Norman tells us more about the mural.
So the mural that I have behind me, this was an opportunity that came up right after the National Monument was proclaimed. So right here, what you're seeing is the Casas Grandes ceramic pot, and it is the logo of the Museum of Archaeology that was selected on purpose, and it's surrounded by the yellow poppies that are so peculiar from this area here that we are located in geographically. This is an image of some soldiers from Fort Bliss shooting with their cannons. This is around late 1930s, so it will be about the same time that Casner Range already was active. So this is a prickly pear cacti. There is a lot of them in the gardens of the museum and in Casner Range. So we chose images that were representative of Casner Range National Monument. Right here is the Buffalo Soldier. Again, we are tying with the military and the history, military history of Casner Range National Monument. Lastly, what you're seeing is the Mescalero Mountain Dancers. Those are performing a traditional dance with puberty ceremony. So that's why you have a young lady that is celebrating her coming of age at the tribe. And then lastly, this windmill right here, it is representing the ranching era that happened in Casner Range. There was some ranching and grazing of cattle here in this section of town.
Thank you very much, Sebastián. And we have more to share about Casner Range and the Franklin Mountains. Monica and Tirsa Ortiz continue our 6 o'clock hour for Small Town Spotlight. And Robert has a final look at your forecast after the break. This is KTSM 9 News Now, putting local first.
I'm Andy Morgan. You're watching KTSM 9 News, putting local first.
Love is in the air at Poe Toyota. Don't miss the great deals that will take your breath away. Fall in love with the 2024 Toyota Tundra with 4.99% APR financing for 60 months. Follow your heart to 6330 Montana and get matched up with your perfect ride today.
RSV can severely affect the lungs and lower airways.
But I'm protected with Arexvy.
Arexvy is a vaccine used to prevent lower respiratory disease from RSV in people 60 years and older. RSV can be serious for those over 60, including those with asthma, diabetes, COPD, and certain other conditions.
But I'm protected.
Arexvy is proven to be over 82% effective in preventing lower respiratory disease from RSV and over 94% effective in those with these health conditions. Arexvy does not protect everyone and is not for those with severe allergic reactions to its ingredients. Those with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most common side effects are injection site pain, fatigue, muscle pain, headache, and joint pain.
I chose Arexvy.
RSV? Make it Arexvy.
Swipe right on savings this month at Oscar Leasers Hyundai of El Paso. Maybe your match is $4,000 off MSRP on new Santa Fe. Not 2, not 3, but $4,000 off MSRP. Swipe right on those savings, and you'll like no interest on Santa Fe and Tucson. Or maybe it's time for you to swipe right on electric, Kona EV, Ioniq 5, and Ioniq 6, all with $7,500 in retail bonus cash. Over $7,000 in savings on electric vehicles, and you won't have to stop for gas anymore. Swipe right on savings at Oscar Leasers Hyundai of El Paso.
And they're off! Sutherland Park Racetrack is now open with live racing every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Free admission all season long. The Sport of Kings. Live horse racing Thursday through Sunday. Sutherland Park Racetrack and Casino.
It all starts with a Chevy truck. Chevy Silverado with the TurboMax engine and best-in-class standard torque. And Chevy Silverado HD with up to 14 available camera views. Whatever you do, do more in a Chevy truck. Get yours now. It's Chevy truck season. Get as low as 0.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 models.
Chevy Silverado, the #1 selling truck in the El Paso Las Cruces area.
Alice loves the scent of Gain so much, she wished there was a way to make it last longer. Say hello to your fairy godmother, Alice. And long-lasting Gain scent beads. Part of the irresistible scent collection from Gain.
Love is in the air at Poe Toyota. Don't miss the great deals that will take your breath away. Fall in love with the 2024 Toyota RAV4 with 4.99% APR financing for 60 months. Visit PoeToyota.com to find your perfect dream vehicle from Poe Toyota today.
Would you like to be a weather watcher and snap those fantastic pictures that you can send in, and then we brag about you and show you on KTSM 9 News absolutely free of charge? Well, then send them to us at news@ktsm.com. Here's a last look at the forecast. So we can expect a high temperature tomorrow of 74 degrees, partly cloudy skies, lighter winds. And then as we cruise into the weekend ahead, temperatures drop down into the 60s for a few days. We're going to get a chance of showers late Saturday and into Sunday as well, with high temperatures moving back into the 70s early next week. Now, my good friend Bobby Bone, of course, my dear friend from the Charlie Clark Automotive Group. You know cars.
Yes, sir.
And you know Nana's Guarantee.
That's right.
And you know customer service.
Definitely.
But let me tell you a little secret.
Let's go.
Bobby, if there's ever a time where you're in a windy situation and you want to make sure that your hair still stays perfect, all you do is you find the direction of the wind.
Okay.
And then you turn yourself into the wind.
Okay.
And then the wind will actually hold your hair in place.
I love that.
You ready to go sniff some poppies?
Oh, I'm ready to sniff some poppies.
Estella, live here at the El Paso Museum of Archaeology. We've got so much fun to happen. Coming up in your small town spotlight at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Remember the tip? I remember the tip.
We'll see you then. Well, Montwood High School Robotics President Samantha Villarreal is today's Estela's Estrella. Earlier this month, Samantha won the National Center for Women in Information Technology Aspirations in Computing High School Award. The award honors 9th to 12th grade women, gender, queer, and non-binary students for their computing-related achievements and interests and encourages them to pursue their passions. She was one of 40 national winners among thousands of applicants. Not only did she win a cash prize, but also scholarship and internship opportunities. Congratulations. And thank you for watching Nightly News with Lester Holt is up next. We'll see you back here for KTSM 9 News at 6. Stay with us.
Hair and wardrobe provided by